Hello everyone, and in this video I'll be showing you how to do the coding for the dataset description that I had given in the previous video. So that is basically to classify whether the given currency is a fake one or a real one using artificial neural networks. So I am first of all importing the libraries that are needed. I'm using pandas to read the data, and for pre-processing I'm using the standard scaler, and for dividing the dataset into training and testing I'm using sklearn model selection. And for importing the layers and the models to create a neural network, I'm using TensorFlow Keras. Then I'm going into reading my dataset, and I have given the path for my dataset over here. And then I'm printing my dataset. As you can see, there are the values given for variance, skewness, kurtosis, entropy, and this is our class. 0 signifies it is a fake node, and if we go down, 1 signifies that it is a real node. So basically class is the predicted variable that we have to predict using the artificial neural network model using the new samples. So if you go further to see how the class is distributed in this data set, you can check using value underscore counts. So as you can see, there are 762 zeros in this dataset and 610 ones in the dataset. And also I have checked the first 5 rows and the last 5 rows using how the values look like, just to check how the values look like. I have used these two to print the last 5 rows and the first 5 rows of the dataset. And then I have checked the value underscore counts. And if we want to check the percentage division of the zeros and ones, as you can see, 55% of zeros are there in this data set and 45% of ones in the data set. Now next what we have to do is we drop the class from the rest of the data set and store it in the variable y, that is this one, and in the variable x I'm storing the attributes that are variance, kurtosis, skewness, and the entropy values. Now if I have to mention something here, it is that if the class variables were given in terms of yes and no's, or say it would have been given as fake or real in the data set that we have, then we would have needed to convert them into zeros and ones first using categorical encoding or one-hot encoding. But since here it is directly given as zeros and ones, there is no need for encoding in this case. Now I'm going to check the data.describe to understand how our data set is. So as you can see, it gives you the count, the mean, the standard deviation, minimum value, and the quartile deviation values and the maximum values for our different attributes, that is variance, skewness, kurtosis, entropy, and our class. So in this case, you can see here that the minimum value here is -7, but then your maximum value becomes 17 here, and there is a whole lot of variance in the data set that is given to you. Variance between each column in the given data set. So to make the mean as 0 and the standard deviation as 1, we are normalizing the data by using, normalizing the data by using standard scaler, and therefore I have created an instance of the standard scaler and designated it to the variable scaler, as you can see here, the standard scaler, which is imported from the sklearn pre-processing, and then I created an instance of the class that is x, that is this one, which contains the fit underscore transform to standardize the attribute values and storing it in x. So now we have our dependent variable y and the independent variable x ready for carrying out the further steps. Then what I'm doing is I'm splitting the data into train and test, such that 20% of the data is taken for test and 80% for training. And I'm giving the random state, that is this one, that is fixing the seed so that the rows or data points are selected randomly each time that we run this code. Next we move on to see, just to check as to which version of TensorFlow we are using. As you can see, the TF version 2.3.0. Then the next thing is we have to create a neural network model using the TensorFlow Keras. So basically the Keras provides a high-level API. So from TensorFlow, I am importing layers from Keras and importing the models from Keras as I had shown you earlier over here as this one. Now we go for sequential modeling. As you can see, there is model equal to models.sequential. So basically sequential modeling is used, that is used so that, you know, to create layers like the first, second layers, etc. in a sequence. So for that I am creating an instance of the model and storing it in the model. And then to this input model I am adding layers by giving dot add layers. As you can see, dot add layers. So like this we can create an infinite number of layers. In Keras we have many layers that are fully connected layers which are represented by dens. So I am adding 64 nodes in my first hidden layer, and the input shape is a one-dimensional vector or tensor with 4 nodes, as we have 4 attributes or 4 independent variables in our data set, and then giving the activation function as the ReLU activation function, that is the rectified linear unit. Then the second hidden layer is the same, but with the slight difference that it has 32 nodes, and here we need not mention the shape again as we have mentioned it in the first hidden layer. Or even if we mention it here again, that is fine. And the activation function is again, the activation function is rectified linear unit. The third hidden layer with one node, and the activation function is sigmoid, which is used for binary classification, and then we can check the summary of the model that we have created by using model.summary. So I'll just run this code. So as you can see, we have in the first layer, first hidden layer, we have 320 parameters, and we have 2080 parameters in the next layer, and in the last layer we have 33 parameters. Up to here, so what we have done is we developed an architecture, and now we need to train it and compile it using an optimizer. That is, I have used stochastic gradient descent in this case, and the loss function, which depends on the number of classes. So we have only 2 classes over here, and therefore we use binary cross entropy. In case we had multi-class, then the categorical cross entropy is used instead of binary cross entropy. Then we compile it, then we start the training process. So as you can see in this section, the instance model that we created has 2 methods, that are the fit, the fit method, and the evaluate or predict method. So the fit method will take 2 arguments, that are the xtrain and the ytrain, and then we have the number of epochs, basically the number of iterations that we want to carry out, and then we can also mention the batch size if we want. I have not mentioned it over here. Also the validation data, that is while training, will also compare the loss and accuracy on the validation data. So I have given here 50 epochs, that are 50 iterations. So I'm running this code. It will take a bit of time. So let's wait for the 50 epochs to run. So as you can see, all the 50 have been executed. So now if we check the first value here, so at the beginning, that is in the first iteration, so these were the values. As you can see, the loss is 0.7018, accuracy is 0.44. But when we come down, you can see the loss has come down to 0.044 and the accuracy has gone up to 0.9818. So we know that the accuracy has increased. So basically our aim was to decrease the loss and increase the accuracy, which we have done. So once the model is trained, it is ready, and then we can calculate or evaluate the model by getting the loss and the accuracy. So this is the loss 0.05 and our accuracy is 0.985, and then we can also get the predicted values or the predicted classes values. So if we run this and we print the y_pred, so these are the predicted classes that we wanted to obtain. This was a very simple code and it will be very easy for you to execute this. So that's all in this video. Thank you for watching and happy learning.